Hello and welcome to the Hooligan Report for another week. I'm your host as always, SM, and with me tonight we have Cooksen.
Yeah, man, gotta go down to Jamaica, got to relax all the time on.
Got Hatchy back.
Hey, fellas.
And we've got Cruyff.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are we today?
Oh boy. Not too bad. We've actually got a lot of games to get through. We've had two sets of fixtures since last week. So we'll get stuck in.
We need a Type Club on tonight.
Type Club?
We need him on tonight. There's one result that we should be talking about.
Oh, of course. No wonder he didn't want to come on this week.
You know what? He's probably practicing his pronunciation.
Well, what was that? Was it Mark Roods? Was it Roods or someone or was it one of the English commentators couldn't pronounce the names properly, and you had a crack at them? Can't remember who it was. Was it Mark Rudin? Was it Rudin on
Yeah, he's terrible.
Yeah.
He's terrible.
We should give Type Club a pronunciation sheet with all the names spelt phonetically, so we can learn how to spell them all. Learn how to say them all, I should say. We'll get into the games then. We'll start with the derbies because obviously that was the major talking point of the weekend's fixtures. And we had the North London derby as the early game, and well, Harry Kane, produced the goods again. Cruyff, how'd it feel?
He rocked me like a hurricane.
Oh dear.
I think Tottenham were the better team. They deserved to win. They thoroughly outplayed us, and all credit to them.
You should be doing where's the Pochettino accent, mate?
Oh, Cooksen's the Spaniard here. we'll leave the Spanish accents to Cooksen. It was always disappointing to lose to Spurs with them being such a shitty team, but they deserved to win, and all credit to them. They outplayed us, and Kane's header was Shearer-esque.
It was very impressive.
They thoroughly deserved the 3 points, and I was happy with the way we set up to play, how we didn't go all out attack sort of thing. We just sat back, tried to absorb the pressure, but at the end of the day it was too much, and they got the better of us and deserved the win ultimately.
Well, it was very interesting. I think the comment was that, as you say, you set up a lot more defensively, you didn't have possession as much, and the comment was, I think, that the first time you lost possession was to Man City, and it was your best result in a couple of years. So, Wenger's learning a few new tricks.
That was our first win against Man City. It was our first win in, I think, 17 against them, United, Chelsea, and Liverpool, I think, in 17 games or something.
Not a great stat.
Definitely not.
And Harry Kane kept his scoring going in scoring against Liverpool in the midweek game. He's got to be in for an England call-up pretty soon, shouldn't he?
Surely, you'd think.
It's great to see, really, that England has such a dearth of... not dearth, that's the wrong word. They have a lot of strikers at the moment. They've got very young strikers as well. You've got Austin, you've got Ings, you've got Berahino, you've got Kane. All of that next generation coming through. And Sturridge even. Sturridge is still pretty young.
Yeah, Rooney should still be first choice though, but it's a matter of will he actually be played as a forward? Which would be fantastic.
Rooney's never done that well internationally, has he?
He's still got a goal every second game, so that's
impressive, yeah.
It's good, but it's not great.
But then when you look at the players England have never been that good on the world stage. That's pretty good still to have a goal every 2 games at international level in a side like England.
Yeah, but you could debate that he has smashed quite a lot of crap teams like your San Marinos and etc.
Estonia, yeah, I agree.
Compared to what Charlton, who played probably greater teams when he played for England and has the record.
Yeah.
In the other derby on the weekend, it was 0-0 in the game between Liverpool and Everton. Probably a fair result. I mean, I didn't catch much of the game, but it looks like it was a pretty dour one.
I don't think there was much to catch, to be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't see it at all.
I mean, I've got to say, I think from the sounds of things, eBay looks like a decent player for Liverpool.
Apparently, it's Ibe. I
Ibe.
also thought it was eBay. That makes sense, but apparently it's Ibe.
It's eBay.
Is he Spanish background? I mean, I know he's English. Was he English?
Sí, español, sí.
Because I was under the impression he was one of those, like when they got Aspas and those sorts of guys, that he came along and...
He was Rafa's Wacky Spaniards.
when did he come to the club? Does anyone know?
I'm looking that up right now. I'll be with you momentarily.
Because he came from some little English club, didn't he?
He joined in 2012 from Wickham.
Yeah, that's it.
And he was born in South London.
Jeez, all right. And is he exactly a year younger than Sterling? I think.
He is 19 years old.
Yeah. So, well, anyways, he looked pretty impressive for them, and then he looked pretty decent against Spurs as well.
Yep, I mean, Mario Balotelli finally scored.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But Chris Goulding scored 2, so laugh at that, Balotelli.
I'll tell you what, I was at the pub Wednesday morning watching Hull's game.
You piss pot.
Yeah, I had a pint for breakfast. It was great. And I had to leave the pub to get to work, and the Liverpool game was still going, and Balotelli was getting ready to come on, and the pub was jeering him.
Wow.
And I would have loved to have been there when he scored the winner, just to see the change of atmosphere.
It's still Balotelli, though. I mean, when Chris Smalling's outscoring you, you know you're a bit shit.
Well, we'll talk about United now, and they got the win over Burnley, but they also drew with West Ham, and it led to some interesting comments from Big Sam. Cooksen, how does it feel to be supporting such a dour defensive side, playing your 19th century football?
No, it's just the centre-backs. They're physically incapable to passing to this person called Dali Blind. He needs to have a giant neon sign that says hello, midfield. And it would also help if we actually play over midfield.
I was about to say, I mean, it makes sense that Rooney's not done much because they're just bypassing him.
Yeah. We play with an actual midfield, you'd see the long balls decreased so much, it would be ridiculous.
I put Rooney in the midfield and then Percy up the front, so he scored all the goal.
Something wonder. I mean, the only penetration a United player got bloody this weekend was in the sex tape scandal.
I missed that. What was that?
Apparently, a United player got filmed having sex in the toilet or some shit like that.
Have
you film them, Cookie?
Did you like it?
No, I've ruled out who can do it though. I mean, it can't be Valencia because he'll just smash her into the shins. It can't be Falcao. He ain't finishing crap.
Oh god, this is pre-prepared. This is pre-prepared.
Yeah, he's got it.
Wow.
He's got his little script there.
Who
else isn't it?
See, I don't think it'll be Januzaj or Fellaini because they usually do things together, so that'd be a bit awkward.
Well, it wouldn't be Rooney, would it? Because, it'd be hard to get a granny into a...
He pays for them.
Yeah.
No, he's also having issues getting inside the box and finishing.
Would it be Smalling then? He seems to be a good finisher lately.
Too dopey looking.
He loves his head as well.
Apparently it was Phil Jones.
Oh, jeez. He's got a bit of a head as well.
I just want to see what the faces were. That's the only thing I want to see. Do your Phil Jones face.
Jeez. Well, we'll talk about an on-field controversy that actually only happened this morning, and it's good to have Hatchy along to talk about it because it was involving Chelsea. Ivanovic potentially in trouble for Chelsea, out for a couple of games with a retrospective ban. Hatchy?
I didn't see that action because I was still seething after the Matic offside goal, but I saw the replays, and I'm not seeing it, I don't think, really.
I mean, he grabs him by the throat, he looks to headbutt him, and there's some speculation there's a bite. Obviously, that's pretty inconclusive, and I think someone made the point, if he'd actually bitten McCarthy, he would have reacted pretty strongly, and he didn't react, so that probably suggests there wasn't a bite.
As the famous quote on Big Footy today on our board, where's the bite?
What was that?
The quote that kept getting mentioned.
Oh, yes,
Where's the bite?
Yeah.
But where's the bite?
This is all well and good, but I don't see a bite. Yeah.
At least we know that Luis Suarez is apparently a transferable disease by biting.
Yeah, I was about to credit Lunity's comment of looks like it's taken 2 years, but Ivanovic has finally gone full vampire.
That was a good laugh this morning.
It was a good one. But what's your thoughts on Mourinho storming out of another press conference? I mean, he likes to go on about this conspiracy against Chelsea, but when a player actually acts up like Cahill and now Ivanovic...
I think it's very smart.
I reckon it's a massive troll on the FA. It's a massive troll on the FA, I reckon.
It's Mourinho. When's he not trolling?
Yeah.
He's a permanent troll face. He's like, yeah.
I think, to be honest, though, he does that, and it takes the pressure off his players, and they all just talk about the media will just talk about him now.
Yeah, 'cause
It'll deflect from
Move
Ivanovic
by him.
or whatever, and be like, "Oh, Mourinho stormed out a press conference. Let's talk about that."
Well, talking about trolls, did anyone see the interview with Sam Allardyce the other day where he came out and said he was the most sophisticated manager in the Premier League?
That's a big troll.
He's a great
Haven't
troll.
heard that yet.
Yeah, I actually didn't see that. When he was confronted about the Van Gaal thing, he just said something like, "Oh, all right," about the dossier.
Yeah.
He was just like, "Oh, okay."
Reminds me of last season, I think, when Mourinho had the big rant about the 19th century football, and he burst out laughing and said, "Oh, Mourinho's just pissed off that we out-tacticked them." And he had a great laugh.
But then again, apparently Allardyce, after Van Gaal sent away his sheets, factual sheets full of very entertaining facts that are true, Allardyce said Van Gaal's the best coach in the league, so the mind games worked.
Fair point. One manager who's certainly not the best manager in the league is Paul Lambert, who
Who's no longer a manager.
Who's no longer a manager. I mean, we were speculating last week on when that first goal would come, and I guess we were right to say that it was going to happen between this last week and this week, but it came against Chelsea a bit unexpectedly, and then they lost 2-0 to Hull, and off he goes. So, do we see this as sort of galvanising Villa and perhaps getting them back up the table, or too little too late?
It could be too little too late. Exactly what I was about to say. I mean, I'm surprised he survived last season, to be honest.
Well, like we were saying, he hasn't really taken them anywhere, so it was amazing that he kept his job so long.
He has to start doing this. Villa has to start doing this thing called scoring goals. It's the big rectangular things shaped like that.
They win possession. That's the important thing.
They've scored 12 goals all season, haven't they?
Yeah, and Lambert
Yeah.
Lambert came out after our game and said, "Look, we've been playing attractive football all season. Now we have to try and win ugly." And I was
Attractive
like,
what, a blind man?
Are you kidding me? There was something like the 20th for shots created, the 20th for shot conversion, the 20th for goals, the 20th for all these. How are you playing attractive football?
I think he meant that if they turn the table upside down,
Yeah.
they'd be on the top, so it'd be the most attractive.
Yeah. He's out of a job now, and I think Tim Sherwood's the favourite there, but I think he's the favourite at QPR as well, so he's sort of, I suppose, the easy target for the media.
But it's this guy who wheels and deals. He could be a bit free.
Oh yeah, we recovered from his knee surgery. If I'm catching you right.
Yep.
Yeah, you might pop back in. Another name mentioned was actually Sean Dyche, but I hope he won't leave Burnley. I think he's doing a good job there and should stick there.
I can see him staying up this season, Burnley, myself.
You can see them staying up?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, no, that's a fair call. I honestly, like I was saying last week, I don't think Villa... I think now that we're above Villa, they're not going to go above us again, and I think Burnley's another one that could stay above them. The way they played against United was certainly quite impressive.
And City a few weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So no, they're an interesting one.
It's probably very interesting to relegation battle anyway.
I was doing a table predictor the other night, and it definitely looks like it's going to go down to the last day, because there's a couple of games on the last day. I believe Burnley might even be playing Villa.
That's a bit of a throwaway statement, because that's providing all the matches planned as how you've predicted.
Sure.
Unless you're Nostradamus and you're not telling us.
Yeah, sure, but that's, it's the best we can go off, and it does, if everything's kind of going, we're 2/3 of the way through the season. If
13 games left.
If everything trends the way it's been going for the first 2/3, that's how it's likely to end up. I can't really see someone like QPR going on a 5-game winning streak or something and jumping up.
Will Aston Villa get to 20 goals? Did you predict to do that?
I
don't think I gave them any goals, to be honest.
They'll surely score again. I think that the lowest is 17. I saw
Derby, perhaps.
Derby. They're the worst side in Premier League history, I believe.
Yeah.
But I think 17 is the lowest. I think it was just under 20, but between 17 and 20 was the lowest. But a few teams have scored 20, and the teams who have scored 20 all got relegated.
Well, I'll tell you what, if they keep playing the way they did against us, they were taking shots from halfway, well, not the halfway line, but halfway between the halfway line and the goal. Their free kicks were terrible. Their corners were terrible. I didn't have commentary, but I've been reliably informed the commentators were ripping them to shreds, saying that I think Bournemouth or whoever... Who was it who played Chelsea the other week and beat them? From League One, was it?
Bradford?
Who was it, sorry?
Bradford?
Oh, Bradford, yeah. I think they were saying Bradford had better
yeah.
set pieces than Villa, so...
4-2, wasn't it? Yeah.
But then you look at QPR, they got their first away win finally under caretaker manager Chris Ramsey, and maybe things can change around for Villa with a new manager. But it was a good win for QPR against Sunderland, 2-0.
Surprised they won, to be honest.
I think everyone was, yeah.
Then Swansea losing was also a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, 2-0 lost this morning for Swansea.
Someone posted a comment that since QPR's last away win, Thomas Muller has won 2 Bundesligas, a Champions League, a World Cup, and something else in that period of time since QPR have last won a game away.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not sure. It would have been obviously the season they got relegated, but I would have no idea who it was against.
but it was wow.
That's telling.
I think it's the longest a team had gone without an away win since the 50s. I think it was
Wow.
Liverpool in the 50s.
Do we think Leicester is going down, lads? They're 17 points, rooted to the bottom, 4 points off from Burnley, who are 19th.
I was going to ask that because I didn't even realise how far off the pace they were.
They're struggling.
I mean,
They did all right against us yesterday in the second half, but and they were probably unlucky not to get a draw the way they were playing the second half. But I mean, end of the day, you need goals to win football games, and they're not really scoring them.
and they started out pretty well too. They had draws against Chelsea.
Everton,
Beat United.
beat Stoke, beat United.
Well, they better start rehashing those United game DVDs. They ain't getting Premier League money.
They've got a pretty decent run to finish the season, I think Jats was saying, so there's always a chance, and if they can keep playing the way they are, you'd hope they'd start to get some results on the board, but
They need those valuable 6-point games.
yeah, it'll be tough for them, I think. So you reckon Leicester going down, probably QPR going down, and Villa, I think? Do we see the...
If Villa survive, it will be a miracle.
They'd have to have some sort of epic turnaround, I think.
Same with QPR, to be honest.
You know,
QPR's gone.
You'd need someone like Benteke to have a new manager come in, play Benteke in a new way, get him back into form, firing, getting some goals to really get them out of trouble. A bit like Sherwood did with Adebayor, funnily enough.
Yeah, but Adebayor was going for a contract then, so that really doesn't count.
But Villa has to be one of the only teams that I can think of that if they got relegated, I wouldn't want to grab a couple of players off. You know, there's normally a team when they're going to go down, and you look at them and you say, "Well, I wouldn't mind grabbing him or him."
Goosen's alright.
Yeah,
I'll take
Goosen.
Okay. Backup striker, I think.
Yeah, not too
Good
bad.
form.
Benteke, Goosen, Vla.
Oh, okay, well, all right. Don't all correct me.
It could be worse. It could be worse. It could be, say, Borussia Dortmund.
Did they win on the weekend?
Yes.
Yeah, they did.
So is that 2 wins in a row now?
Much to the dismay of Kaiser Chief, who can't control them as much, the twat.
And
Oh,
Rouse
excuse me, sorry.
Rouse has just signed a new contract, I think.
That's correct, till 2019. Who Bayern Munich can also no longer sign.
Well, apparently there's
Cup's
still rumours.
United.
Yeah, there's still rumours that United are after him for about 50 mil.
That's a good deal. I see no issue with that.
Was up his price for the fees, I guess, which is the main thing for.
I was wondering if that's the main reason he signed a new deal.
Yeah.
It's more to boost up the price that they'll be asking for him.
I was
Yeah, that
thinking
was-
that as well.
That was pretty much my fear. If they get relegated, instead of buyout clause, it's 50 mil right in the coffers, which means they rebound straight up into the Bundesliga.
Yeah, it would be an interesting one. Because the thing is that if they got relegated, you would expect most of their star players would leave.
Yeah, Hummels.
Yeah.
the-
When you're
and-
when you're a club of that size to go down to the second Bundesliga 2, it'd be staggering not to see most of their players leave. And actually, I want to talk about the new TV deal that's just been announced because it sort of ties in with
Should
England.
have got Dirty Bird on. He had a lot to say.
Well, just in terms of the amount of money that English clubs are now going to have, that's going to let them buy players like this, who German clubs just can't compete in terms of salaries. And I think
that means no. They usually go for overpriced English players. For example, Ashley Young was how much did we won for? We won for 18 million.
yeah, that's staggering. And what was it, 25 for Lallana?
Yeah, you could have bought. Well, we bought Darley Blind, who's probably the better player out of those three, for 16 million, and that's looking like a bargain. It's just for pretty much there's too much English players in the English Premier League with the amount of money that will now be through.
Well, it's amazing. Someone was speculating that before too long we'll have players earning £1 million a week, which is just unbelievable.
Let's be honest. All money that footballers earn is unjustified and ridiculous. But I think that's a whole different topic altogether.
Yeah, and I mean, I have a very strong opinion on the way the money should be used in terms of subsidising ticket prices and filtering further down into the leagues to...
It's because you go for a shit team, though.
Mate, we already have pretty much the cheapest tickets in the Premier League, so...
we got the most expensive. I think
there
it's
you go.
£2,000 or £3,000 for a season ticket.
We're charging £16 to go watch us play QPR next weekend.
Yeah, that's watching QPR.
Fair point, fair point.
You could give tickets away and people wouldn't go.
No, fair point.
But I do think ticket prices are excessive, and I think it might have been Moomba that said, or maybe even USM that said, if with this the TV rights, ticket prices should be capped at a certain figure.
Yeah. I think there's quite a, like Lineker and Carragher and stuff in the media have said the same thing. And you'd hope that there'd be a chunk of that money going to the lower leagues as well, just to, support English football at the grassroots level. I think Scudamore came out recently and said, the Premier League's not a charity, but,
Now, here's what I was also odd about. It's like, you know how there's the 3 p.m. kickoff rule that they have in England?
So you can't show those games.
Sky are playing, was it 10 billion AUD?
Yeah.
They still use dodgy streams. You do that to AFL, we'd be ropeable about it.
The AFL doesn't even broadcast a grand final in HD, though.
Yeah, that's because the AFL, that's because the Seven's a pack of dicks.
Tell us what you really think.
But I think they're paying something like, was it £7 million a game?
That's crazy.
Is it something like that? Because they're not obviously because they're not showing every game, they're just showing a selection, and so it comes out at something like that.
Yeah, apparently.
Figures.
Like I was speaking, apparently your average, say Hull for example, smaller club, they apparently get 15 to 18 games per season.
Yeah.
Which is only half, really, or less than half.
United's, Arsenal's, Liverpool's, they get 30.
Yeah. So the amount of money that you guys are pocketing... But when you consider that when this deal comes in, the team that gets relegated 20th will get £100 million.
And that's, I think, more than...
That's Bale's sort of money, Suarez sort of money. Hitting
that's more
club.
than every other... Pretty much all except Barcelona and Real Madrid are getting.
Yeah. It's pretty incredible, and you'd hope that the money will be put to good use by clubs, but you can just see it going into higher wages, higher transfer fees, and all that sort of thing. Sadly enough,
we got a stadium to pay off. In fairness, so it's good that they've upped the money, so it's going to help us pay off our stadium.
Yeah. Apparently, the Glazers, the club wants to increase Old Trafford because one of the stands is still one single tier.
Yeah.
But apparently, they have to buy houses, do something weird with the train line, and apparently be like, I don't know, for £300 million there or thereabouts. So I suppose the money could go there, or it most likely will end up in an agent's pocket as we go on a spending spree again.
One positive that I saw mentioned about it, which I thought was pretty true, was it could make the Premier League a lot more competitive in terms of competition for Champions League places, because the higher money given to all the Premier League clubs will negate, to an extent, the added bonus of Champions League money, if that makes sense. So you're getting your 30 million or whatever for being in the Champions League. Relatively speaking, that will impact on clubs less, but now that the new TV rights deal will come in. So it gives clubs like a West Ham or a Southampton or a Stoke or someone a greater chance of buying the players they need to kind of launch a Champions League challenge.
Yeah, but pretty much, I think as though if United get Champions League this season, it's locked in. We pretty
That's
much
a
would
big.
not.
That's a big if at the moment, though.
It's a
the
big
way-
if, but
The way
pretty
you're
much,
playing, I mean, you're scraping wins against shit sides too.
but pretty much, based off, I think we'll be getting in total from revenue from advertising and all that. It's £70 million from Adidas, 50 million from Chevrolet. You add in, what is it, 100 million so for Premier League.
That's what SM pays his mate.
30
By
million
the
from
hour,
Champions
yeah.
League. It's like pretty much we're earning 250 million per year for the next few seasons. Hello, Galactico policy.
Well, that's the trouble with FFP is that it allows a club like you to spend as much as you want in regards to how much you've earned, and it makes it very, very tough for other clubs to compete with that.
That's because they're not good with marketing. I mean, you got to wheel and deal. Do you have an official noodle supplier?
Not yet.
What a
Is it?
joke! What a joke!
Do you have an official games partner? An official airplane engine partner?
Well, the point was made by a couple of Hull fans that all this trouble about the Hull Tigers rebranding issue surely is moot now because the owner said that, we want to rebrand to Hull Tigers because it'll bring about another £1 or £2 million in revenue. And you think, mate, if we stay in the Premier League after next season and we get that £100 million windfall, surely that £1 or £2 million extra pounds really does not matter. It's a drop in the ocean.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you can get an official noodle partner and that can just cover it.
We'll move on now. We'll talk about the upcoming set of games because we've got the FA Cup 5th round this weekend.
Who won the last FA Cup?
I have no idea.
Wait, we beat you guys. That's right.
So I think we've got can someone remind me of the FA Cup fixtures? I think who's Chelsea got?
We're out.
You're out. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that-
right. I forgot about that. Who's Arsenal got? You out?
Oh,
No, I want to say Bradford, but I'm not entirely sure.
I'll look it up.
You
now.
have Middlesbrough.
Maybe, we'll smash it. We'll win that. We'll win that.
Here we go. So we've got Leicester playing Villa. We've got Arsenal against Borough. United against Preston in the David Moyes Cup.
That
who else
went
we
down
got?
like a lead balloon.
Yeah. Liverpool against Crystal Palace. Surely Palace for another win against Liverpool.
No, it's going to be Liverpool's year until they get to the final, face United, and Steven Gerrard will slip over and rule all off.
Well, he's out for about a month now, isn't he?
Who cares? That's how I want it to happen. Slips, Rooney goes and scores. If that happens, I'll be the happiest man on the planet.
So I think the winners of this. So the next round's the quarterfinals, isn't it?
Is
Yes,
this the 5th or 6th round?
It's the 5th round.
Then there's 6th round, and then there's quarters.
It's a 1, 2.
Am I
3, 4,
miscounting the games? 1, 2, 3, 4,
5,
5, 6,
It's
7,
round
8.
of 16.
Yeah, it's the round of 16. So next round's the quarterfinals.
Which is no, but in the FA Cup they
They just call it 6th round. Oh, fair enough.
6th round, and then it's just called semis.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Do we see any dark horse running for the final, like a Hull last year, I guess?
Bradford for mine.
Bradford, yeah,
The same.
obviously knocked you guys off. Yeah.
So I don't think Bradford are in it.
No, it's the Bantams. That's Bradford.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know why they're named. We're both looking on Google, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know why it's got them as the Bantams, but yeah, no, that's Bradford. Yeah, Bradford, and who's Rovers? Blackburn? Yeah, alright.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. I mean, I reckon Leicester will knock off Villa pretty easily, the way they're playing, even with Lambert gone. But yeah, what's the pick of the round? Probably Liverpool Palace?
Yeah, you'd say the 2 Premier League sides.
Yeah.
Fair enough then. Well, we've also got West Brom, West Ham, and Villa, Leicester, Cruyff. So you've got a couple of all Premier League ties to whet your appetite with.
Oh, I love my appetite being wet.
Will you stay up for the Villa Leicester game?
Oh, yeah.
It's a thriller.
If I've got insomnia, it's a very good possibility that I will put that on to try and cure it. So maybe I will stay up and watch it.
Hatchy, when's the League Cup final?
League Cup final. I'm sure which is the same pool, but I think from memory it's in early March.
It'll be the 1st of March, I
Yeah,
think.
that's when it's on FIFA. So
Oh, good
Yeah.
stuff. That's 2 days before my birthday, so that'll be a good one.
Oh, you're born the 3rd of March. I'm born the 3rd of April.
Oh,
Cheers
at
to
that.
being born on the 3rd.
it's a good day to be born, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
Cooksen sounds thrilled.
Oh no, just maybe late month. That's where it's at.
And we'll move on then. We'll talk about the next round of Premier League fixtures, which is the following weekend. It's not a particularly engaging set of fixtures, I've got to admit. Probably the highlight being Liverpool against Southampton in what could be really a battle for 4th place.
I'd hope that's a draw, to be honest, from an Arsenal
From
perspective.
Arsenal's perspective, well, you've got Crystal Palace away
mean,
at Crystal Palace.
We've got a bunch of very winnable games. I'm sure we'll drop points somewhere along the way, but I mean, like Liverpool Spurs, I guess that would have been better if it was a draw as well. But I mean, there's 5 points between 3rd and 7th, so the race for 4th is really hotting up.
And I tell you what, I mean, Palace away is the sort of game that you guys would lose traditionally.
Yeah,
It's that sort
yeah.
of Stoke-esque sort of away game.
Yeah,
So that could be a really interesting one as well.
yeah.
Has Jedinak been playing? I haven't really noticed him,
No idea.
Yeah.
so it'd be
I've-
interesting.
I'd be very surprised if Chelsea lost the league from here as well.
Yeah, that's the other one. I mean, you can thank me later, Hatchy, after the points we took off Man City. Sorry we couldn't take all 3, but you've got to say Chelsea's probably got the league from here.
if we win from here, I'll love Hull for the rest of my life.
If you lose,
No, if we win from here,
Oh,
I will love Hull for the rest of my
yeah.
life.
There you
No
go.
worries,
Sam.
mate. Yeah.
You can get him a membership a jersey.
Yeah.
Get him a half scarf.
Oh, yeah, I can't just lose from here though. To be honest.
I mean, you've got. It would take something like a bad injury to Costa or Fabregas
Yeah.
or someone.
Even a Mourinho-led side to cough up a 7-point lead would be unheard of.
And you look at how they won this morning. It's that sort of effort where, without Costa, without Fabregas for most of the game, they still managed to find a way to win
I
against a
think
pretty.
I know I was the whole neighborhood this morning when he scored.
Yeah. Well, was it 90th minute?
Yeah, no, it's been a winner.
I was just about to message my mate at the time and say, because the evidence supporter was saying, oh, you're down to 10 men, but you'll just be able to hold on from here, won't you? And as I went to type it, Williams scored, so.
Or as David Platt likes to call him, Willen.
Willen. No, Everton's another side who are certainly struggling of late, but I think they've got enough points on the board now to probably count themselves safe. They're 5 points ahead of Villa. You can't really see them getting roped in.
No, at this point, no. They won a week
They
or so.
beat
I
They beat
think.
Palace the other week, I
So
think.
that really helped them, I think, because if they didn't win that, they'd be on 24 points now, which would put them in 15th or 16th. Now they're sitting in 12th. They're not so bad.
And I'll tell you what, another side who's really struggling of late, but thankfully have a bit of a cushion, is Swansea. I think Rough Edges on the board is probably the only Swansea fan I know, but wasn't too happy with the way they played against West Brom. They're really struggling to score goals now that Bonnie's gone.
I think that was always expected.
And it's just surprising they didn't bring anyone in.
Yeah, I mean, you would have thought they did with the money they got for him too, but I mean, is Swansea a really attractive option to play at or live in and stuff like that?
Where's Mitchell gone?
Is
On-
he on loan somewhere?
at
Valencia?
Napoli.
Napoli, that's it.
Napoli.
If he could get back for loan.
I'm surprised they let him go, to be honest. I forgot all about him.
Are they looking to sell him? Is that the reason?
I'd assume so. There's no reason, because he did quite well for them season before.
And is Sigurdsson would surely still be, up and about playing, and he doesn't seem to have done much lately.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the loss of Bonnie really did shoot them down.
Look, to be honest, I reckon what they've done is they've looked at their league position and points total and thought, look, we can survive until the summer pretty comfortably, and they're going to look for a target to buy in the summer with that money, because there'll be
Yeah.
better options available.
I mean, they won't get relegated.
Oh, of course not. Yeah, well, I mean, I thought looking at their results that they could creep into a bit of trouble, but when you see how many points they're on,
They
they're
need
pretty
2
safe.
more wins to be safe.
Oh, if
And
that really.
I think even 40 points would be would be excessive to be safe this season the way clubs are going.
Yeah, this season I reckon if you get
Maybe
33,
35,
yeah.
If you're over 30, the odds are you're probably safe.
Yeah. I mean, Leicester are on 17 points after 25 games.
Leicester are gone as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. But even up to Villa and QPR, 22 points after 25 games is just... It's not a great total.
I wouldn't mind seeing Burnley stay up.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I'd like to see QPR go. I don't mind Villa. Like, I love Villa Park, but they're a bit of a nothing club.
Burnley are like that sort of industrious side that you love to see sort of stay up because they're the cheap squad but the good team spirit.
With Sean Dyche at the helm as well.
And Sean Dyche is really likeable, yeah.
Yeah, likeable manager.
Yeah, absolutely.
More than that Mourinho and Bruce guy.
Oi. Oh.
Oi.
Oh. Mate.
Oh, I didn't see
Uncalled for.
Can you do a Bruce accent?
Oh, he's from the north. Yeah, we were good out there today, but
That's Liverpool, mate.
No, this is Liverpool, Steven Gerrard.
I can't do Bruce. I need
Yeah.
to listen to him talk.
Yeah. He's a very gentle spoken man. He's a good manager, very
he's
charismatic.
an ugly bastard too.
Yeah, he is.
Do you remember when you said he was the best in the league?
I don't think I ever said that seriously.
Oh,
I do not recall ever saying that seriously.
Oh.
I said he should be.
up now, boys.
I said he should be considered for the United job at the time.
What do
I
you
think
think of
I
that,
recall.
Cooksen?
I recall saying that at the time.
Nah. No chance.
The former player coming home.
They should
For
get
that
Mark
logic-
Hughes.
Yeah, Hughes, I guess. Yeah.
We need a good manager. He needs to have Champions League experience.
Nah. Bruce knows how to get you promoted from the Championship. Maybe you should be going to Villa. Any closing thoughts, boys?
Whoever fell on the 4 nominee.
Haven't found any dives. Don't know.
Yeah, it's been a...
There is a worst performance of the week award though.
Yeah?
I think it's a fairly obvious one. He got 0 touches, 0 goals, 0 shots.
No idea.
He's someone who starts
Rooney?
with someone starts with an R.
Rooney.
It's
Raheem.
not Rooney. It's not
Raheem.
Rooney. It's not Raheem. It's someone's absolute favourite player.
Oh, jeez. It's not
Ramsey.
Ramsey?
He does not play in the EPL.
Oh, Ronaldo.
Yes.
Oh!
Did he play against Atletico?
Yes, he played like a sack of potatoes.
0 touches. Wait, 0 touches.
Or something like that.
Something like that.
Surely he touched the ball.
So,
We're doing a bit of Googling.
I'm doing a bit of Googling to make
doing
sure.
the stats
I'll take that.
versus...
I need to check that.
Wow.
Let's see. Who scored? I don't know.
He's not a big game player, Ronaldo. He doesn't perform well in big games. He's a tremendous player, but when it comes to pressure and big games, barring maybe Portugal, Sweden, he's never really there, in my opinion, anyway.
I just think he's crap. He's crap against Atletico. It's the only club he's really crap against.
What did he do in the Champions League final?
He scored.
A penalty.
Well, he scored a decent. He was pretty good in 2008.
Was he? I don't remember.
Yeah.
You'd remember more than me. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe my comment was uncalled for.
As most of them are.
Oh, shut up.
Well,
FA Cup
tight.
champions.
Oh,
Back.
jeez.
It's going to happen.
Oh. Actually, one final game to have a quick word about is the Spurs against West Ham game in what I would dub the Grand Blue Cup after he correctly jinxed West Ham into winning 3 times against them last season.
Delicious.
Do we reckon West Ham will get the win with the sophisticated manager and Big Sam?
I hope so.
That'd be
It's
great,
Spurs, so most likely yes.
They always seem to have that bit of dip after a good win, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, on that note then, thanks very much for joining me, boys.
No worries.
Thank you
Cheers.
for having me.
No worries. And we'll see you again probably in 2 weeks' time. We'll have the week off after the FA Cup and see you back here in a fortnight. So until then, thanks very much for listening, everyone, and we'll see you on the forums.